Welcome to another episode of Just Scrapping By, the YouTube channel where we find value in some of the most commonly thrown away electronics. In today's episode, we will be scrapping a fax machine, manufactured by Canon, to see what valuable components can be found within. The model of the fax machine is F162002. It took us about 1.5 hours to disassemble, and another 30 minutes to depopulate the circuit boards. So let's get into the project. This fax machine is actually very easy to take apart. The first step is to remove the 2 screws on the back of the device. Then, remove the 2 screws on the top of the device. This will allow the side panels to slide off, exposing the circuit boards and other components. With the side panel removed, we can see the green data circuit board on the top and the brown power circuit board underneath. To get a better look at the power board, let's remove the 5 screws holding down the data board. The power board is pretty sparse, but there is a nice transformer, some inductors, and capacitors. Let's remove the back panel of the fax machine to see what's there. With the back panel removed, we can see a really small circuit board which is used to connect to the phone line to receive faxes. Let's get these 3 circuit boards depopulated so we can see what we are able to salvage. There were only 21 electrolytic capacitors in the fax machine. These capacitors range in value from 2.2 microfarads all the way up to 1,000 microfarads. Although these capacitors will only fetch us $12 in salvage, it is better than nothing. There comes a point where we need to ask ourselves, is it cost-effective to remove low-value components from circuit boards? In this case, ceramic capacitors are almost a waste of effort to remove because of their low value. However, because we are showing you everything that can be removed from a device, we removed as many as we could. We did even worse with our polyester capacitors, only finding 2 in the fax machine. Film capacitors always fetch a higher value compared to ceramic or polyester capacitors. These 3 capacitors are only worth about $2, but will sell fast. Now we are getting into some salvage that is worth something. We removed 5 inductors from the fax machine, with 4 of them being bobbin inductors, and 1 of them being a toroidal inductor. These inductors will sell for just shy of $5. We also removed 2 dual choke inductors, worth over $6 in salvage value. There was a nice selection of transformers in the fax machine. The 3 mini transformers, paired with the medium-sized transformer, will get us almost $20 when we put these components up for sale. Surprisingly, there were not any decent integrated circuit chips in the fax machine. The closest thing we found to IC chips were these 5 optocouplers worth a little over $3. We removed 3 MOSFET components from the fax machine. The 08N5DE is an N-channel MOSFET. The MBRF10100 is a Schottky diode. And the TME861 is a MOSFET triac component. We also removed 2 NPN transistors from the circuit boards. Altogether, our transistors and MOSFET components will raise our salvage value by almost $5. One more integrated circuit component we forgot to mention was the GBL206 full bridge rectifier. These are extremely useful to have for projects or to sell to other builders. In the resistor component category, we removed a varistor as well as a thermistor. We also removed 2 basic resistors, and if you have watched any of our previous videos, you already know we don't have much to say about these. There was a nice 2-position micro button in the fax machine. These buttons are very versatile and we will definitely find a use for it if we do not sell it. We removed a 10-amp fuse from the power board. We usually never sell these fuses on our website because we like to always have spare fuses laying around in case we need to repair a device, and the fix is a simple swap out of a blown fuse. Before we talk about these motors, let's just highlight the salvage value for them. No need to adjust your screen. These two motors are worth over $50. They are very unique brushless stepper motors, and with the price tag, we will be listing them in our online store right away. We successfully removed 2 of the 4 telephone ports out of the fax machine. Although future generations may not even know what a telephone port is, they are great for connecting projects together when 2 devices are in separate areas. We also removed 3 crystal oscillators, a specialty relay, and 3 brown things. We have no clue what these are, and they do not have any type of component number printed on them. If you know what these are used for, please leave a comment below and share your knowledge. There were 3 ferrite rings with cables wrapped around them in the fax machine. We are starting to accumulate a lot of these rings and will need to see what we can do with them if they do not sell. What you see here is another example of a laser diode. We are not telling you to build a death ray, but there is a ton of cool projects you can do with laser diodes. These diodes usually sell for about $15 when they have their associated drivers still attached. If we take all of the components we salvaged from the Canon fax machine and add the value of the scrap circuit boards and scrap steel, we get a total value of $128.04 in salvage. Now that we have the total amount of salvage from the device, we can check out the profitability. The device took 1.5 hours to disassemble and another half hour to depopulate. If we take the total salvage value and subtract the purchase cost of the device as well as our labor, we can make a maximum profit of $96.42 if we sell everything. We would need to sell a little over $30 in salvage in order to break even on this project. So the question is, was scrapping this device worth it? If you were to obtain the device for free, or for at least less than $20, you would make a profit. There are not many components in the device, but the device is easy to disassemble. There is a lot of plastic waste left over after you have taken the device apart, but there are some really high-value components inside. For the Canon F162002 Fax Machine, we give it a scrapping grade of A-. Thank you for watching our video, and remember to subscribe to our channel to see more great tutorials on how to turn the old into gold.